Basic necessities of life cut across every consumable item mankind needs to survive, from agricultural produce, industrial goods, wares, sources of energy and equipment that keep the modern means of service provision alive. Continued hiking prices of commodities, a global trend, is being felt on a higher magnitude in Nigeria as myriad of challenges bedevil the entire polity. This is most worrying in the northeast and specifically Borno State, suffering from the yoke of conflict situation. Many factors account for the rising prices of commodities, such as forces of inflation, the coronavirus pandemic, climate change resulting to lower agricultural yield, insecurity, population growth with corresponding rising demand in relation to weak supply chain, and high cost of energy. What is the impact of the increasing prices of goods and services on markets, supply chain, poverty reduction, and general commerce? How can we enhance domestic production in all sectors to conquer price regimes or ensure price control and stability? This is our focus this afternoon on Panorama from the studios of NTA Meduguri Network Center. I am Mohammed Ibrahim, and thank you for joining us. The Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, has ordered the immediate deployment of police intervention team to Plateau State to carry out on-the-spot assessment and ensure enhanced coordinated response. A statement by the force indicates that the deployment is a fortunate attack on innocent citizens in Rukuba community, just north local government area of Plateau State. The police intervention team, headed by DIG Sanusi Lemu, is expected to, amongst other things, protect communities, prevent further attacks, and bring the perpetrators to justice. The operatives are expected to provide additional investigative intelligence and forensic support to the Plateau State Police Command in the ongoing investigations and rescue operations. The IGP, while condemning the incident, calls for calm and assured citizens and relatives of the attack that the police is working with military and other security forces and the state government to ensure that perpetrators of unfortunate incidents are brought to book. Meanwhile, the presidency has condemned the attack Saturday morning on travelers on a religious event in Bauchi, passing through Jos, the Plateau State capital, and regrets the reported deaths of at least 22 persons killed with several others injured in that ambush on their traveling party. A statement from the presidency says it is known that Plateau State has been one of the states affected by herder-farmer clashes, which have in a significant way been curtailed following intense peace-building efforts of the administration of Governor Lalong. The statement, however, noted that it was not an agriculturalist or pastoralist confrontation, but rather a direct attack on members of a community exercising their rights to travel freely and to follow the fate of their choice. Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong has directed the imposition of curfew on Jos North, Basa, and Jos South local council areas. This is sequel to the unfortunate breach of peace along Rukuba Road, Jos North local government area on 14 August 2021, where a convoy of commuters was attacked, leading to killing of innocent persons. A statement by the governor indicates that 23 of those attacked lost their lives, while 23 persons sustained injuries and are currently receiving treatment, with 20 suspects so far arrested as security agencies are conducting investigations to get to the bottom of the matter. According to the statement, the curfew was imposed in order to avoid further deterioration of the situation and to protect lives and property of citizens that the governor directed the imposition of curfew on Jos North, Basa, and Jos South local governments commencing 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Governor Lalong says the curfew shall remain in place subject to further review by the State Security Council, and therefore urges all citizens to abide by the directive to enable security personnel maintain law and order in the affected areas and deal with those attempting to foment trouble by taking advantage of this perpetrate crime. While he deeply sympathized with the families of those who lost their loved ones and those injured in the unfortunate event, the governor called for calm and appealed to citizens to avoid any action or utterances that will further inflame the situation, as it is purely a criminal conduct and should not be given any ethnic or religious coloration. He appealed to citizens for continued vigilance and security consciousness, and they should do everything possible to sustain peace and security of the Plateau. Borno State Governor Babagana Umara Zulum on Saturday in Goza local government area of the state received another Chibok girl who presented herself to the Nigerian Army. A statement from the Special Advisor to the Governor on Public Relations and Strategy, Issa Gusau, says the schoolgirl Hassana Adamu, alongside her 2 children, were handed over to the governor by the commander, 26th Task Force Brigade, Brigadier General D.R. Dantani. Governor Zulum was in Goza local government, from where he moved to Bama local government, undertaking humanitarian activities. Hassana was one of the over 200 schoolgirls abducted at Government Secondary School in Chibok on April 14, 2014, by Boko Haram insurgents. Moving on, Nigerians have been reassured of commitment of the federal government to completion of all ongoing infrastructural projects across the country, despite paucity of funds. Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, gave the reassurance in Taraba, where he inspected Chanchangi Bridge, constructed by the federal government. Adamu Haruna Adams reports.
Chanchangi Takum Bridge, though smaller when compared with other bridges constructed or being constructed in other locations, its socio-economic benefits cannot be trivialized, according to the Minister of Works and Housing.
An emergency intervention, really, but its impact is really gargantuan. On one side of it is Benue, on the other side is Taraba, and this is the link that takes you also to the northern part of the country, Bauchi, all the way to Kaduna, Kano, and so on and so forth. So it's a very strategic connection.
The minister maintains that determination of the President Buhari-led government to improvement of quality of infrastructure in the country is an indisputable fact.
Over 800 contracts, over 13,000 kilometers of roads and bridges at the same time by one administration, and the money is just not enough. So
some stakeholders of the benefiting communities expressed gratitude for the project and other ongoing projects in some parts of Taraba State.
We have seen what Mr. President has done. That is kudos to him.
The Chanchangi Bridge is a completed project. What is left to be fixed is the approaching road, and the minister says will be addressed. In Jalingo, Adam Haruna Adams, NTA News.
The rise in prices of commodities is being felt nationwide. However, across Borno State, it is worse. Peculiar security and other challenges have led to sustained hike in prices of all goods, thereby subjecting the people to unending hardship. Young Subukar has a situation report.
The peculiarity of Borno State, bordering 3 neighboring countries of Chad, Niger, and Cameroon, makes it unique in terms of commercial activities, being a center of international trade in the region. Closure of these borders as a result of insurgency makes Maiduguri-Damaturu Road the only entry and supply point into the state, which is subject to periodic attacks. The daily increase in cost of commodities, which is attributed to drop in value of Naira, COVID-19, increase in cost of petroleum products, and decline in agricultural production, as well as the over a decade-long insurgency, are contributory factors to the hardship faced by residents and commerce.
The rate at which goods inflated is so disturbing.
Everything is too cost, more especially the rent house, food items.
If possible, let the government do something to reduce in order to make our life comfortable.
This life that is not in Maiduguri is more of the things that are causing hardship in Borno State.
When you go to the China and buy this one for the yen, before you come to the Maiduguri, the price is increased.
Production level is very low. We have vast area of cultivation, but now we cannot even go to the area due to that insecurity.
Borno State has put in place deliberate policies and programs to ease the sufferings of the people, considering the peculiar situation in the state that is taking its toll on residents.
We usually plead with them and sensitize them. Sometimes we even enlighten them on various other measures that they will take so that they will maintain the lower price. Even despite the fact that prices are high in Maiduguri, you will find that goods are a lot more cheaper in Monday market than outside the market.
The worrying rise in prices of commodities is coming at a time when people are striving to overcome the insurgency and other challenges. In Maiduguri, Yagum Subukar, NTA News.
As agricultural produce move out of farms to markets, industries and agro-allied cottage producers roll out finished products. Prices of goods continue to rise by the day. Every newly supplied items come with a new price, with the commodities costing higher in Borno, a consumer society with varying challenges from conflict, continued displacement to ongoing counterinsurgency operations. What is the way out of the hike in prices? With me to discuss this issue is the President, Borno State Chamber of Commerce, Industries, Mines and Agriculture, Alhaji Ahmed Ashemi. Sir, you're welcome to Panorama.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Increasing price of commodities is a global recurring decimal. How is the situation generally in Northeast and specifically Borno State?
Well, just like you said, it's a global issue, and therefore the Northeast and Borno are all part of the global family, and it has affected people very seriously, and particularly here in Borno State, where we are, there is increase in every item that you go to buy from the market or from the shops, or any service that you hire to give you, anybody that you hire to give you any service or companies, their prices have gone up. So actually it has affected us adversely, and in Borno it has affected us acutely.
Okay. What is the correlation between the insurgency and price of essential commodities, especially food items and other perishables?
Yes, there is a correlation. Now, because of the insurgency, particularly food items have become very expensive due to the fact that local production has been brought down because of the insurgency and insecurity. Farmers can no longer access their farmlands to be able to farm and produce food. Therefore, food has to be brought in. The roads that lead into Borno State and Maiduguri in particular are all infested with insecurity and Boko Haram and bandits, such that most of the time goods coming in have to pay high price. Sometimes they even lose their products to insurgents and so on. And this has also affected the of food and other items to the state. Let us concern ourselves purely with food items generally. And now, because of the low production in the state, we have to augment what we want to buy and eat from other sources. We import sorghum, guinea corn, maize, everything, potato, whatever we buy to eat, we bring them in from other areas. Okay. And now bringing these goods into Maiduguri have also created some problems because of the insecurity on the route. For example, if you load a trailer of potatoes from Barkin Ladi or Mango and come into Maiduguri, between that place and Maiduguri, the number of checkpoints and roadblocks also contribute to the increase in price. Okay. And also, there is the issue of unscrupulous businessmen and their middlemen who take advantage of the unfortunate situation we are in order to unnecessarily increase prices to maximize their profit at the expense of the common man. These are all issues that affect the supply of food items to the state.
Okay, then how has this worrying trend affected commerce generally and economic recovery in this hard-beaten zone?
Well, it has definitely affected commerce because at the micro level, people that buy food items, commodities, turn them to food, commodities, or certain items, and fabricate small things that people will use, can no longer afford to buy their inputs because of the high price. Therefore, it has affected commerce very seriously. And there is need to do something about it, definitely.
Okay, then how can we protect consumers, enhance the supply chain, and meet up with the growing demand?
Yes. I know that there is a consumer protection agency of the federal government, although their presence is not felt here. I don't know of them. So state governments, particularly in the northeast and most particularly here in Borno, the state government can enact laws that would protect consumers from these unscrupulous people that without any cause increase the price of items every day. And local governments too can do that. On our part in the Chamber of Commerce, we also have some powers to regulate the activities of our members. And there are times that we call them onto the table and tell them, look, please do not increase prices of your goods without cost. Because if you do that, you will force the government to take actions that will not be palatable. Because government has the powers to go and break their stores, auction the goods at the right price and give them their money and they go. So we don't want things to degenerate to that situation. Let them on their own be their brothers' keepers to keep prices to the level of the common man's ability. Since even if they do that, they will still make profit. But in the pursuit of higher profit, they should not increase prices. So we are doing that, and we are also collaborating with the state government to see that the actions of the activities of these middlemen and business people is checked properly.
Okay, what about we see farmers going back to the farm now?
Yes, in fact, it's a good news I also want to give you, that there is a possibility that at the end of this farming season, after harvest, there will be plenty of food in the market and for people to buy, because improvement in security situation has also triggered farmers to go back to the farm. If you are going from here to Bama, for example, between Maiduguri and Bama, the whole 78 kilometers or so are farms. People are farming, you will see them. So therefore, we hope and we pray that this situation will be sustained such that cultivation will be successful also.
Thank you, President Bosima Ahmed Ashami, for coming on Panorama.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful.
All right. Time to take some messages. Panorama continues shortly.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
Welcome back. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has confirmed 665 new cases of COVID-19 in the country. A breakdown of the figures indicates that Lagos State has the highest number of new cases with 369, Anambra 68, Oyo 63, Akwa Ibom 48, Kwara 28, and Rivers 23. Others are Edo, Ekiti 15, Ondo 13, Delta 7, FCT and Ogun State have 3 cases each, while Gombe 1. This brings the total number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria to 181,962, discharged 166,826, and deaths 2,219. It is the peak of the rain season, ripe for the prevalence of the disease malaria caused by the Plasmodium parasite that achieved endemic proportions. This disease, spread by the female Anopheles mosquito, is a leading killer of infants, the old, and people with compromised immune systems. Pauline Kujavana has more on malaria and measures to mitigate the spread.
Malaria, a mosquito-borne infectious disease, has continued to threaten human lives, with nearly half of the cases being diagnosed in hospitals daily are caused by the Plasmodium parasite. With me is the program manager, Borno State Malaria Elimination Program in the Ministry of Health, Mala Waziri, who will tell us contributory factors for the prevalence of malaria in the states.
Factors responsible can be attributable to lack of measures taken to prevent the occurrence of the disease itself, which can further be linked to either ignorance, socio-economic factors, and the rest of them. And talking about prevalence, actually in the state, in Borno State, I think compared to the national average, Borno State prevalence, looking at Nigeria Health and Demographic and Health Survey 2018, we can realize that Borno State has lower prevalences as against the national and the zonal average. Based on that same survey, we are 16.2%.
The preventive and curative measures put in place to fight this seasonal epidemic.
Prevention through what we call integrated vector management. We've seen a lot of works going around in terms of evacuating of drainages. Since 2017 till date in Borno State, we've been implementing what we call seasonal malaria chemoprevention, where children between the age of 3 months and 5 years are given drugs, and these drugs is given house to house by community volunteers. Second part of the chemoprevention is what we call IPTP. When women come for checkup, every month they come for ANC and they are given similar drug that also remains and acts in similar way in protecting them for at least 28 days from diagnosis. As soon as it occurs, then people get diagnosed. This is through the effort of the state government and in collaboration with partners. They give drugs, they give nets and so many other interventions, including training of health workers on how to diagnose appropriately, how to record this so that we can get data at the end of the exercise.
With these plans put in place by government and partners, it is hoped that malaria cases will be reduced to its barest minimum in Borno State. It's back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Pauline. The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development has commenced data capturing for primary 1 to 3 pupils in Kogi State to ascertain the level of compliance with the National Homegrown School Feeding Program initiated by the federal government. Francis Udojo reports.
The monitoring program of the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs is targeted at taking stock of local government areas and the states where the federal government initiative has taken off successfully, with particular attention to the improvement in schools enrollment and attendance. Kogi State, with its peculiar challenge of floods, erosion and other environmental factors, had resulted to an increased number of out-of-school children, a trend which the National Homegrown School Feeding Program aims to address by encouraging more enrollment of school children.
I'm happy because government is giving us food to eat. I'll be coming to school every day.
Ever since I graduated, there's been no job, so it's going a long way positively because I've been making some income from this.
Though the federal government's program is already yielding results with an increased enrollment of over 258,000 pupils, which is now twice the number at its pilot stage. Efforts are ongoing to increase the numbers of caterers.
The federal government said they are feeding over 10 million pupils in the country. This is one of the evidence.
Initially, we were feeding just 18 local government, which is pilot stage. Today, we have got across to 21 local government.
With the level of progress made so far, it is expected that more enrollments of pupils will be achieved while creating more avenues for jobs in the state. In Lokoja, Francis Udojo, NTA News.
That's all on Panorama. Remember to be a star. Join NTA to fight against rape and rapists. Thank you for watching and good afternoon.
Finally, the hero of Nigeria's democracy has arrived. He shall usher us into a new phase of development, peace, and prosperity. He is the father of the new Nigeria, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR. Welcome to another season of giving Nigerians hope yet again. We are sure of a great future for both ourselves and generations yet unborn. We look forward to your leading us as a nation into our manifest destiny. Though the challenges against us as a people are many, we know that your leadership shall set us on the right path to our greatness. A new dawn beckons on us all, and having you as our president is a precursor to this. Thank you for believing in Nigeria. This message is from the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
Last 1.5 years or so since the advent of the COVID-19 pandemic, we've seen massive changes in the way we do things at NPH-CDA. Working with the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, we were able to actually roll out in the first couple of weeks a massive community-based program that looked at how we could quickly mitigate the impacts of COVID-19 in the communities. So we rolled out a training that involved over 220,000 primary healthcare workers all across Nigeria. We are seeing how we've been able to now achieve pre-COVID levels in terms of the routine immunization services. That is really, really impressive, and really my heart goes out to all of the primary healthcare workers. They've done such an amazing job, along, of course, with all of the health workers that have been in the front line.
The Ministry of Works and Housing has the responsibility to help improve the quality and the quantity of the road infrastructure assets, which are the roads and the bridges and the highways. At the moment, we have over 13,000 kilometers of road network under repair, reconstruction, or rehabilitation out of the existing 35,000 kilometers of federal road network. These 13,000 kilometers are comprised in about 850 different contracts which the ministry superintends across Nigeria. We are fulfilling the mandate of our ministry to expand the